This is how I make these latches. I'll show you. I made this out of tubing. It's pretty easy to make. I'm going to put a better spring on here eventually. I just put a temporary one on there to do it for now. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a better one on. Just needs a torsion spring that goes from here around in the circle and then goes back to a double on the other side. You can buy them online. I just have to find the right one. So, but this was just round tubing. I'll show you how I made it. Stay around in the video and we'll see how you can make one of these. All right, in this video we're going to be taking this piece of tubing here, which is stainless steel, and we've got this same stuff here. And what I'm going to do is take this piece of tubing and I'm going to turn it into the latch. So if you can kind of imagine, I'm going to have a push button latch that looks a lot like the original one. I make it out of these tubing. So I'm going to show you how I do that. First thing I did is I cut a slice down here, and then I'm going to use these two tabs. I'm going to bend them out straight. I'm going to use these two tabs for the center, and then let's see, this end will be like cut back like this, and then that will be the push button. I'm going to bend it, shape it, and then this end here will be cut back to a little flapper that bends straight down and goes through this tubing, like a little slot that I'm going to put in this tubing. It'll go through that tubing and then lock into the next piece of tubing that slides inside of this one. I'll show you how I do that in this video. So first I'm going to do this. I'll split this down and I'm going to go ahead and cut right here and bend these out. So stay with me. It's going to be pretty interesting. If you have one of these, if you're missing that table latch, they're kind of hard to find. So this is, you know, a great way to just make it. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got so far. I'm just gonna, I think I need to narrow this down just a little bit more. I'm gonna shape this more like a spoon. Okay, kind of round the corners off there. And then this end here gets cut right up there and right up here, and well, it's got to go up to about right there. Maybe I should mark it for you guys so you can see. All right, so I gotta take some of this part off so I could make that flat and then bend it down. So I've got to take up to about right here. Okay, and then do the same thing over here. So I'm gonna even it out right there. Bring it over there. So I gotta even it. So yeah, best way to do that's with tape. That's why I use tape to get it straighter. So if I just take tape and I run tape right here, I know that I'll make mistakes and I have to start all over again, or TIG weld it, which I'm having issues with the TIG welder right now, so I don't want to do that. So I got another TIG welder I could use, but so I got to take that like that, and then I'm going to try and grind that up at an angle or something right there. From, yeah, I got to go up a little bit further here, a little bit further here, so that I can clamp it around the outside of that, and it'll still have rotating room. So yeah, I got that to do still. So yeah, it usually ends up working. So I'm going to cut back up here a little bit more, and then round this and cut this up and bend this out a little bit further. Give myself a little bit longer ones of these things here. Actually, I think I'll roll it on this side more. It's a little oblong shaped. So okay, that's the process. It's going to be a latch, believe it or not. It's going to look just like the original one almost. All right, so we've kind of got the rough shape of where we're going with it. I've got to still do a lot more hand work, filing. I'm going to take a grinder with a finer grit on here and kind of smooth out the hammer marks a bit here. I see a little bit of a fix real quick. So you can kind of see it's kind of a spoon shape there, but it's inside out obviously. And then you just push on that lever, and then this will be spring loaded. Let's see, where's my spring gonna be? I forget. It has to have spring on this side. So it's gonna be on there, and then I'll bring it back in when I figure it out. All right, so I just cut. I get you guys up pretty close. You can see I cut this line down the middle, and then I cut this way and this way, and I put my little slit in there. So now what I got to do is open this up. There we go, you guys back a little bit here. Open up this. And these are going to be where I screw, or I don't like a screw. I just use a cotter pin. Hopefully these are big enough. Open them up like that. Let me show you in a second. So I open up like that. That's the bottom. I'm going to cut kind of round this so it's rounded, or you know, at least at an angle. And then I'll just pound that all straight. All right, so check it out. So that's how it ends up, like that. But I'm gonna, of course, gonna polish this thing. And then I gotta put a spring on here. Gotta put a spring on this side so that when you push on it, right, it pushes on, it has spring tension there. A couple different kinds of springs. I could actually put one on a coil spring on there. I might do that. One that goes on to here and then onto here and then or onto here and onto here and pushes down, and then it coils up and spring loads back down. And it's taking a little bit of hand filing now, so I'll just I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter so it's more like down there, right? Okay, take some off of this. Just massage it slowly. You don't want to ruin it at this point because you're almost done. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit off of there. Make it so it drops into here good. And then you just push that. I'm going to cut a slot in the inside pipe so that it drops right into both of them. That's all it takes. It's real simple. The thing drops into there, slides up, clicks in, push this, lever releases, table drops. It's all spring loaded. I'll show you a little bit more later. All right, so here's what we got so far. I've been doing a little bit off camera, obviously. So this now kind of looks like an aged piece, like it belongs. So all that came from this pipe, a piece of this pipe. So just got to think creatively, cut it out, and then flatten these areas out here. As I can get you up close, so you can kind of flatten those out. Flatten these parts of the pipe out. And then just get it on there. Now I'm going to put it on with a cotter key. Okay, so I just put it on with a cotter key. Now I just got to get my spring on there. And then it looks like that when it's in place, and looks really similar to the original one that was on it, and nobody's going to know. Well, what I did for now, I'm just going to use this spring on here temporarily. I need a torsion spring that's goes here, the ones that coil up and have, I need a double torsion. So when it goes across here to the pin and then up, and then it would be a little more sightly than that, but that'll work for now. Like I said, it'll just look like, this is what you're going to really see. Like that. It kind of hides the spring and all that. That's really what you're going to be looking at. You just grab it, slide the other tube up, which I haven't cut yet because I don't have the table. So once I have the table, then I'll cut the other end of it. But that's how I make these latches. It's pretty easy. So anyway, and the other one just kind of slides inside here. Ease you back a little bit so you can see, like that. And then once it gets to the point where it goes past that, and it just stays there. So you can just you can put a slot in here, which I don't even do that. I just let it bump against that, and then just like down. And it goes up, locks in. Push it in a little bit if you need to sometimes to get it to the same place. The table won't go anywhere. But that's how I make these things. Alright, so here's what we ended up with. So I got that all done. I also made these. Once I get the length figured out, I'll put these on. This will be the top hinge. Okay, and it goes on like that. I'll just drill a hole, put a cotter key through that. On the bottom, it's a small one. Again, I have the long pole. It's too long to put in here, so I'll just keep it in the garage there. And then this one here is the smaller one, and same thing. Drill a hole through there, mount that to the wood, and then put a cotter key through it, put a couple screws in it, and that's what makes the bottom hinge. So this is kind of like what's on the SO23, so I'm just going to use it like that on this one. That looks kind of neat though. If you see, that looks like it belongs. It doesn't look like a homemade hinge. It looks like something that, or a latch, it looks like something that came on it. All right, so anyway, thanks. I'll talk to you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.